Switching gears, earnings season is upon us with Delta Airlines due out tomorrow and the big banks set to begin reporting on Friday. But which company will set the tone this quarter? You can read all about the earnings bellwethers of the past, present, and future by subscribing to Yahoo Finance's Morning Brief. And today's edition was written by our very own Julie Hyman, of course, here with me on the desk and going to break down some of the bellwethers for us as well, Julie.
Yeah, first of all, what's a bellwether, right? That's an important note here. We're talking about something that is basically a signal or economic indicator, a company, for example, that sort of touches enough parts of the economy that maybe tells us where things are going. It's from the Old English for a sheep with a bell around its neck that you listen to find out if bad weather perhaps was coming. And so in the past, Alcoa was the first company traditionally to report its earnings. Alcoa, the big aluminum company. And it was not only the first to report, it was also seen as something of an economic indicator. Aluminum obviously used in a lot of different things in manufacturing. General Electric, another company that was seen in the past as an economic bellwether, but GE is a lot smaller now than it used to be, does not touch as many parts of the economy. And of course, the economy has changed quite a bit, is much more technologically focused, for example, and consumption makes up a much bigger part of the U.S. economy now than did manufacturing, for example, in the past. So I put it to my peers here at Yahoo Finance. I put it to some of our regular guests. Many of them were kind enough to answer me. Who did they think the new bellwether should be? I got a lot of different answers here. So if you look at some of those that came up when we did our informal, very informal survey here, we got a FedEx and a UPS, which are sort of more classic bellwethers, right? Shipping around the country and around the globe. What's the demand as seen through the eyes of shipping? What does it tell us about employment trends as well, for example? Wells Fargo is one that one regular guest on the show mentioned here because it is consumer focused more so than the other banks, doesn't have as big of an investment banking arm, also is domestically focused. But then you have JP Morgan on the other hand, which of course is reporting tomorrow and touches so many different parts of the economy. So those were some of the names. Then we got a lot of tech names as well that people brought up, companies like Apple, for example, but other also consumer names like Walmart. WestRock, which you might not know, is a company that provides packaging. It's the second largest packaging company. Alphabet, of course, with its search and its really tendrils and everything advertising. So a lot to choose from. As for what I thought, which also was a vote of some folks, including the man sitting next to me, I thought Amazon was a pretty good proxy here. It doesn't report as early, right? It's due at the end of the month or beginning of next month, but it gives you an eye into the corporate demand because of AWS, because of cloud services. Obviously, lets you know what the consumer is doing because of shopping. And one of my colleagues said, well, maybe Amazon's not as good a proxy because it kind of adjusts, it has margin flexibility, if you will, based on what is going on with its profitability. But I think for the top line, it's a good measure of demand. And as for those margins, it does kind of let you know where the consumer is pushing back on some pricing. You saw Daisy Jones on there just because I liked the series Daisy Jones based on the book Daisy Jones, which is from Amazon Prime Video. So that's just my little mini capsule review of that adaptation of the book, which I like. So anyway, maybe Amazon can give us an idea as to what's going on in the economy. But obviously, we have to look at the ensemble of all of these companies.